So this video is going to be a brief introduction about using artificial heat and light for your growing. Now, using things like grow lights and heat mats can sound a little bit scary to some people and like something that's only really relevant in big industrial growing spaces, but actually they can be really easy and really beneficial to use in the home growing environment. Now, a lot of people think that if you want to grow plants out of season, out of the summer season, putting them on a sunny, south-facing windowsill, they're going to carry on growing, but they will still go dormant. Now, the reason for that is it's not about quality of light, it's about quantity of light. Once the number of daylight hours reduces to a certain amount, a plant will go into a state of dormancy. It will stop growing. And that's why even when you put, for example, seedlings on a really sunny position on a windowsill, you will still find that you probably get long, leggy, unhealthy looking seedlings. Or if it's a more mature plant, it just doesn't do anything. But you can counteract that, and that's where grow lights come in. So grow lights are basically just lights that give off the same spectrum of light as sunlight. So lights in our house, they light up the room, but they don't supply the same spectrum of light that plants need to actively grow. But a grow light does, and there are all sorts of options on the market. You don't have to be spending a lot of money, they don't have to be terribly large, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. Now, you've probably heard about the concept of a leggy seedling. That's basically a seedling where it's germinated and then it gets very, very long and thin and it looks really unhealthy. Now, all that's happening there is that plant is reaching up and up and up, trying to find enough light to grow. And that's why it's gone very long and thin. Now, if it's got a grow light above it, it's going to stay short and stocky, the right kind of height, and it's going to be a really good, healthy seedling that's producing lots of food for itself to actively grow. So, using artificial heat and light can benefit you in two different ways. First of all, it allows you to propagate much earlier in the season. Now, usually in the UK, we'd start propagating around March kind of time because that's when the days start to get a bit longer and there's enough light for seedlings to start to get what they need. But if you have grow lights, you can start much earlier. You can basically start whenever you want. Now, that's really, really great for slow growing crops that need a longer period of time to be successful. So that would be peppers, chilies, aubergines, also celery really benefits from an early start. So heat mats come in with seeds that require a little bit more heat to germinate. So when you're propagating later in the year, you've got natural heat. Things will be warming up in your greenhouse outside. But earlier on in the season, things are going to be a little bit cooler. Now, things like tomatoes and chilies and peppers, they want to germinate above 20 degrees. And that's probably warmer than the ambient temperature in the room. So by laying the seed trays on a heat mat, you're just giving them that extra boost and it will really help germination. So the one thing that's really, really important to remember when you're propagating earlier than you usually would is those plants are going to start very, very small, but they're going to get big. And you're going to have a longer period of time that you need to look after them for indoors. So don't think about the space that you need for them when they're really tiny. Think about how much space you're going to need once they're much bigger and still not able to be planted outside. So that's your consideration for when you're thinking about how early to start. But if you do want to start early, grow lights are your solution.